Hey ladies and gentlemen, Wolf Crier here, and welcome to Diablo 3 Basics, my video series in which I try to enlighten brand new players to Diablo 3, as well as old-timers might actually get something out of these as well. So this video, ladies and gentlemen, is all about goblins. And in this video, we are going to go over the different variations of goblins, what types of drops you can expect from those goblins, and the general locations where these goblins are found. And at the end of this video, I will also give tips for farming goblins and my goblin routes that I like to follow. Alright, let's dive in and take a look at these goblins. First up, we have the most common goblin, which is the treasure goblin. Now, most of the time, this goblin does not drop a legendary. He does have a chance to drop a legendary, just like everything else in the game, but most of the time, he does not. Now, he can be found in pretty much every area except Greater Rifts. He can be found in Nef Rifts, Vaults, and Adventure Mode. And the next goblin on the list is the Gem Hoarder. Now this goblin can also be found everywhere except Greater Rifts. Now this goblin can be really handy in the beginning of a season or if you're looking for gems to augment, because that is all this goblin drops is gems. And then we have the Insufferable Miscreant. And this guy usually drops a legendary when he is killed. I have not personally seen a time when the Insufferable Miscreant has not dropped at least one legendary. Then we have the Malevolent Tormentor. This little guy likes to teleport all over the place, but he also usually drops at least one legendary, sometimes two or three. So he is a very valuable goblin indeed. All of these goblins, with the exception of the Gem Goblin, can also drop mats and yellow and blue items. Then we have the Blood Thief, and the Blood Thief drops blood shards. And blood shards are used for purchasing items from Kadala, where most of the time it's absolutely useless, but these do come in handy when trying to get that legendary piece that you are looking for. Blood goblins can also be found in every area except Greater Rifts. Then we have one of the better goblins. He's more rare than most of the others, and he is the Gelatinous Goblin, the Blue Goblin. Now this goblin is really cool because when killed, he splits into more goblins. Now his splitting increases the more people that are in your party. So with 4 members in your party, he can split up to 16 times, pretty much filling the screen with DBs, mats, yellow and blue items, as well as multiple legendaries. Then we have the Gilded Baron. Now the Gilded Goblin is pretty much a gold goblin, and occasionally he can open a portal to the vault. And the vault is where you fight greed, and there are multiple goblins inside the vault, and it's very lucrative as far as gold, drops, gems, and that sort of thing. And next up we have the Odious Collector. He is also one of those goblins that can be found in every area except for Greater Rifts. And he is a material goblin, giving you Forgotten Souls, Death Breaths, as well as Veiled Crystals, Arcane Dust, and reusable parts. Very useful when needing crafting materials. And one of the coolest goblins there is the menagerist goblin. Now the menagerist goblin is also known as the pet goblin. Providing you do not have every single cosmetic pet in the game, every single time you meet and kill this goblin, he will drop a pet for you. And those pets can be utilized for picking up gold, and they look pretty cool. Now, menagerist goblins can only be found in Adventure Mode. They cannot be found in any type of rifts. They cannot be found in the vault, only in Adventure Mode. And then one of the most sought after goblins is the Rainbow Goblin. He can only be found in adventure mode. He cannot be found in Nephilim Rifts. He cannot be found in Greater Rifts. He cannot be found in the Vault. And he leads you to Whimsydale, the teddy bear and pony place in Diablo 3. And this special one that is opened by a rainbow goblin has tons of gems, legendaries, and mats everywhere. And in this area you can also earn the cosmic wings, which are pretty cool. Now also we've got the goblin packs. Goblin packs are really cool when you run into, and there can be tons of goblins on the screen at the same time. All different types of goblins can be part of this pack. And this can be very, very lucrative for your character when one of these packs is found, because you end up with a ton of mats, including DBs, veiled crystals, and the such, as well as plenty of legendary drops and yellow and blue items. These are really fun when you run into them. And in adventure mode only, you can also find a goblin shrine. Clicking on this shrine will spawn a goblin pack. Just like the regular goblin pack that can be found in Nephilim Rifts, this pack just explodes onto the area as soon as you click the shrine. And like the goblin pack, this can be very, very fortunate when you come across one of these, because you will get tons of mats, tons of legendaries, and yellow and blue items to turn into materials. Very, very beneficial. And you can also get a rainbow goblin or a gilded goblin with portals to the Rainbow Land or the Vault from a goblin shrine, which is pretty awesome. Now, when you are farming goblins, ladies and gentlemen, number one, a speed build is very, very useful. Something with a ton of movement speed and movement abilities. I personally like my Innis LTK with Ingeome. Ingeome is very, very useful in creating a speed farming build. Allows your dashing strike or whatever dash or teleport you have to come off cooldown after killing a goblin or an elite pack, etc. And I use my monk with Innis LTK so that I can just kill an elite pack, dash, 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 all over the place and look for my goblins. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so now I'm going to show you the areas that I like to farm my goblins in and the route that I go. The first area that I like is Southern Highlands. Now check out Southern Highlands. Looking for goblins. Every single time I personally goblin farm, I'm going to Southern Highlands first. Go ahead and proc my Ingeome right there off that dude right in the beginning, which is cool. So I go ahead and I'm able to dash around much faster. With that group, I did actually miss the minions, so I did not proc my Ingeome, which kind of sucked, because usually I try to keep that nice and procced. I check this corner up here. Sometimes there's a goblin there. And then I pretty much just go around the outskirts of this map, and I listen for goblins, because you can definitely hear them if they're in your vicinity, and then you can, you know, change course and go get it. So you don't have to cover the whole map, which is fine. You know, you're just searching around big areas, and then nothing there. I like to go into the cave of the Moon Clan, level 1, and then I do level 2 as well. So I just keep moving, click that chest because why not, and boom, right off the bat we got our first goblin, a odious collector. So nice materials for crafting, that sort of thing, which is pretty cool. Then we're going to just dash, dash, dash. Now keep in mind, goblins also trigger your Ingeome, which is very cool when you're teleporting or dashing around. Going to go ahead and check level 2 right now. Use this guy to proc Ingeome again. And this is going to let me just dash through the rest of this map. Now it is looking like there's not going to be anything else in this area, which is fine. So we're going to go ahead and check out Northern Highlands. So I go to Southern Highlands, followed by Northern Highlands. And like I said before, just check out the outskirts of the area and listen for those goblins. I'm going to go ahead and go upstairs and check this area as well. Just running around the outskirts, making sure I check the corners, because a lot of times in the corners, that's where you're going to find goblins. So far, it's not looking like I'm going to find one in this area. Down here, sometimes there is one, but nope, not this time. Alright, after Southern and Northern Highlands, I hit up the Halls of Agony 3, 2, and 1 because those are fairly small maps and easy to get to, checking them and that sort of thing. Then I hit up the Royal Crypts, which is a very small area and sometimes contains a goblin, which is pretty cool. Now, the thing about goblin farming routes is everybody's got the best route. That's not actually accurate. The best route is going to be whichever route you can farm very fast and you like farming, because you're going to be doing it repetitively and you don't actually want to bog yourself down and doing things you don't want to do. So once you get a routine and you like doing the routine, that sort of thing, that's when you're going to really shine. Now, the one thing I do when I hit up the cathedrals is I go to level 2 and then I use Leoric's Passage to get to level 1, because Leoric's Passage always has at least one elite group in it, and it's most of the time that I go in there, it's also got a goblin. So that's pretty cool, and it leads me to level 1 and so forth, so I don't have to teleport to level 1. I just go right to Leoric's Passage and go right down. So, Leoric's Passage, right off the bat, we get a blood goblin right in Leoric's Passage. See what I mean? A lot of times there's a goblin in here, and it's such a small area, and it's just an in-between, and it gives you yet another chance to get a goblin. I have gotten a rainbow goblin in there, so that is entirely possible. Like I was saying, the thing is that goblins can appear anywhere in adventure mode. So if somebody's got we got another goblin. Oh, and it's a menagerist goblin. Nice. We get a pet while we're making this video. That's pretty cool. What pet did we get? We got Haunting Hannah. All right. Let's go ahead and click that and then take a look at our pets. Haunting Hannah. There you are. We're going to go ahead and equip that. That is pretty cool. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, and after the cathedrals are done, usually I go to Cathedral 4, and then sometimes I hit up Weeping Hollow. So I hit Southern, Northern, the Halls of Agonies, then I hit up the Royal Crypts, followed by the Cathedrals and Leoric's Passage, and then Cathedral 1, and then I hit up Weeping Hollow. So guys, thank you so very much for checking out this video. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments what you think of this video and what you'd like for a future Diablo 3 Basics video. So thank you guys so very much once again, and peace.